Sé el primero en iniciar la conversación.
Okay, we're 30 seconds to live. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being with us this evening. I am calling to order this regularly scheduled council meeting of March 14th, 2020 to order. I don't see our town clerk.
2022.
2022, yes. March 14th, 2022 to order. He should be on shortly. I know he's been with us through all of the meetings, so.
Let me just check on him, Paul.
For the members of the community who are viewing us, please be advised that this meeting is being broadcasted and recorded through the Hartford Public Access TV, channel 96 for Comcast and channel 6032 for Frontier customers. And here is our lovely town clerk. If you could call the roll, please.
Councilman Clark.
Present.
Councilman Gale.
Here.
Councilwoman Hercules.
Present.
Councilman LeBron.
Present.
Councilman Mitchum. Councilman Mitchum. Councilwoman Rosado.
Present.
Councilwoman Rossetti.
Here.
Councilman Sanchez.
Present.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Here.
Councilman Mitchum. You have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Also for the record, there are members of the Hartford Public Access TV. Also, Mr. Eric Luza from the Town Clerk's Office and our Corporation Counsel, Howard Rifkin and David Grant from the Office of Counsel. With that said, Mr. Town Clerk, if you could lead us on to the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, and through you, I would like to say Happy Pi Day to everyone. It's March 14th, 3.14, Pi Day. I'd like to make the motion. Got to add some laughter to our meeting.
Thank you. It's been a long evening today.
Yes. I'd like to make the motion that we approve the minutes of the February 28th, 2022 council meeting.
A second.
Motion has been made and properly seconded. Are there any concerns, questions with regards to the minutes? There being none, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilman Clark.
Yes.
Councilman Gale.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hercules.
Yes.
Councilman LeBron.
Yes.
Councilman Mitchum.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti.
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Through you, I'd like to make the motion that we place the following items on the consent calendar. Reports of committee, item 4.1, Planning, Economic Development and Housing Committee with accompanying ordinance amending the housing code. Item 4.2, under reports of committee, Planning, Economic Development and Housing Committee with accompanying resolution calling for designated areas for tractor trailers to park. Reports of committees, item 4.3, Planning, Economic Development and Housing Committee with accompanying resolution authorizing a second round of pilot city-owned property transfers to the Hartford Land Bank. Reports of committee, item 4.4, Health and Human Services Committee with accompanying resolution appointing Erna Alec to the Commission on Refugee and Immigrant Affairs. Reports of committee 4.5, Health and Human Services Committee with accompanying resolution appointing Rebecca Pappas to the Commission on Cultural Affairs. We have actions on the agenda. Item 5.5, Mayor BRONIN with accompanying ordinance amending housing code. Item resolution 6.1, Councilman Gale, Councilman Sanchez, Council President Rosado, Councilwoman Hercules, Councilman LeBron, Councilwoman Rossetti, resolution condemning the acts of aggression against Ukraine and calling on the city treasurer to investigate and divest any city assets from Russia. Resolution item 6.2, Majority Leader Clark, Assistant Majority Leader Rossetti, Councilwoman Surgeon, Councilman Gale, resolution to express gratitude to members of the National Black McDonald's Operators Association for their service to the city and state's youth and communities. Resolution item 6.3, resolution in supporting resolution item from Councilman Clark, Councilwoman Rossetti, Councilwoman Surgeon, Councilman LeBron, Councilman Sanchez, and Councilman Gale in support of divesting potential city assets in Russia while working to combat anti-Blackness. Resolution item 6.4 from Councilman Clark and Councilwoman Surgeon, calling on an environmental study to Brandon Airport's 201 acres.
I second the motion.
The motion has been made and properly seconded. Are there any discussions? Councilman Mixton, followed by Councilman Nick LeBron.
Thank you, Council President. Two separate things. First, just a question, because our council agenda has 6.5 on consent. So I thought it was on consent, I was gonna ask to move it to action, but the majority leader didn't list it. So I don't know. I just want to clarify, where is 6.5?
6.5 has not been called yet, Councilman.
Okay, but it's not on consent.
It is not on consent, no, sir.
Okay, that was issue one. And then just a comment on items 6.1 and 6.3. There are two Ukraine/Russia divestment resolutions. I just wanted to note they are very similar in the sense that they condemn the invasion of Ukraine and they call for divestment from Russian assets. But one of them also calls on us to take note of and condemn the anti-Blackness that we have seen among Ukrainians against Black foreign students and other folks who've been trying to flee. And I just want to say that I think we could just make do with just that one, because it's never bad to call out anti-Blackness where we see it, whether it's in Ukraine or in Hartford or in the suburbs or anywhere. So we have the two resolutions. They're on consent. I'm content with that. But if we're up to me, we would just keep the one that had the stronger language. And frankly, we should be sticking some language about noting the anti-Blackness where we see it everywhere. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Councilman Mixton. Councilman LeBron?
Yes, through you, Madam President. The question I have, and I'm sorry for my note-taking skills, was there another item? I know 6.5 wasn't placed on consent. Was there another item as well that wasn't placed on the consent calendar that was different from our agenda? Maybe this is a majority leaders. Was there another item different from our agenda besides 6.5?
Councilman, I'm not sure what you're referring to.
So on our agenda, we have consented items, correct?
Right.
And so I was reading through the list and I thought I heard another one of the items that weren't mentioned besides 6.5. Were there's two items that were different than the original agenda?
No, I don't know if I just got a message saying I said 5.2 instead of 5.5. Is that it?
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I thought I heard 5.5. Was that it? Okay. So if 5.2 is on consent?
Yes, I was going to restate it for the record so that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Madam President, may I? If there's no.
Yes, of course, Councilman.
Thank you. Through you, Madam President, just a restating for the record, consent calendar item 5.2, which is Mayor BRONIN with accompanying ordinance amending housing code.
Thank you, Councilman. So we have a motion and a second on the floor. Are there any other discussions? There being none, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilman Clark,
Yes.
Councilman Gale,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hercules,
Yes.
Councilman LeBron,
Yes.
Councilman Mitchum,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti,
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Through you, I'd like to make a motion that we refer the following items to the said committees. Communication item 3.1, Mayor BRONIN with accompanying resolution authorizing the mayor of the City of Hartford to accept an additional $1.3 million, actually $1,342,290.60 in funding from the state of Connecticut's Department of Public Health to be referred to the Health and Human Services Committee. Communication item 3.2, Mayor BRONIN with accompanying resolution authorizing the transfer of 8 city-owned properties to the Hartford Land Bank. That also has a public hearing for Monday, March 21st, 2022 at 7 p.m. and has an 824 review to be referred to the Planning, Economic Development, and Housing Committee. Communication item 3.3, Mayor BRONIN with the company resolution authorizing the Hartford Police Department to accept a vehicle donated by the National Insurance Crime Bureau, NICB, for the use by the Hartford Police Auto Theft Unit to be referred to the Quality of Life and Public Safety Committee. Communication item 3.4, Mayor BRONIN with the company resolution authorizing the mayor to apply for and accept 2 grants of $2 million for Elizabeth Park and $3 million for Keney Park from the Connecticut's Department of Economic and Community Development to be referred to the Public Works, Parks, Recreation, and Environment Committee.
I second the motion.
Motion has been made and properly second. Are there any discussions? There being none, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilman Clark,
Yes.
Councilman Gale,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hercules,
Yes.
Councilman LeBron,
Yes.
Councilman Mitchum,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti,
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Through you, I'd like to make the motion that we postpone indefinitely item 5.1, which is the Labor, Education, Workforce, and Youth Development Committee with accompanying resolution for the nomination of Bernard Thomas to the Hartford School Building Committee.
I second the motion.
Motion has been made and properly second. Are there any discussions? There being none, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilman Clark,
Yes.
Councilman Gale,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hercules,
Yes.
Councilman LeBron,
Yes.
Councilman Mitchum,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti,
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Through you, I'd like to make the motion that we place on action resolution item 6.5, which is a resolution by Council President Rosado appointing members of the community to the Red Light Camera Task Force.
Second the motion.
Motion has been made and properly second. Are there any discussions? Councilman Clark.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to make a motion that we amend this resolution to add a member of the NAACP. I know it's noted that there was a member, Helen Nixon, that is a member of the NAACP and a member of the 5th District, representative of the 5th District. So to amend that resolution, substitute resolution, I would like to amend it to place Archbishop Dexter Burke, who is a Democrat. His address is 723 Garden Street, Hartford, Connecticut, 06112, as the designated member of the NAACP representative.
Second.
A motion has been made and properly second to add Mr. Bishop Dexter Burke as the NAACP representative on this task force. Is that correct, Councilman Clark?
That is correct.
So this motion has been made and properly second. Are there any other discussions on this motion to add Mr. Burke? Councilman Gale.
I'm just confused and I apologize. I heard something about Helen Nixon. Is her name staying on and we are adding one more person?
So for the record, when Helen Nixon was added on, she was added on as a 5th District member of the 5th District NRZ and a member of the NAACP. She was never added on, and I want to say this for clarification purposes, she was never added on as a representative speaking on behalf of the NAACP. So what Majority Clark is stating is that now the NAACP has reached out and has designated Mr. Burke as their spokesperson on this task force representing the NAACP. Is that correct again, Councilman Clark, for the record?
That is correct. And for the record, I did speak with the president of the local chapter who has indicated that Archbishop Burke will be the representative for the NAACP.
Again, Madam Chair, I'm sorry, I'm still confused. Are we just adding Burke?
Yes.
So Helen
Yes,
Nixon Helen Nixon remains.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, that was my only confusion. Thank
Yes.
you. I just
Yes.
needed that clarification.
Yes, Councilman Gale. Councilwoman Surgeon.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair, I think there is a correction. I'm trying to find it. Oh, maybe it's the substitute one I couldn't find. So is retired Fire Chief Teal not on the committee anymore?
He is.
I'm looking.
Yes. There was a substitute sent out, I believe, at 5:18 p.m. And let me read what I have on here. It's Darlene Childs from the Northeast NRZ, Lawrence Williams, Upper Albany NRZ, Hyacinth Yenning, the Marge NRC in the south end of Hartford, Patricia Turella from the Parkville NRZ, Patrice Howell from the 7th District, Pastor William Condero from the 7th District, Victor Blanco from the 6th District, Bishop Jeremiah Torres, Ricky Martinez, Helen Nixon, 5th District Representative and NAACP member, Naisha McCauley, the 4th District, Chief Charles Teals, and Mr. David Morin from the 3rd District NRZ.
Okay, that's
And,
what's confusing. Okay,
yes.
Madam President, Chief Teal is not from the 3rd District.
He's from the 1st, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so if we can make that that correction, also amending that Chief Charles Teal reflect that he's from the 1st District representation. Councilwoman Hercules, followed by Councilman Sanchez.
Thank you. Through you, Madam President, just for a point of clarification for any, community neighbors that may be watching, given that the issue of traffic light cameras has important civil liberty considerations as well as, public safety considerations. It's important for folks to know that we're aiming to get a very representative group of people on this task force. And it's my understanding that this list is not closed, that additional names could be added in the future.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We're still also waiting for a representation from the ACLU also.
Thank you.
Any further discussion?
Yes, through you, Madam Chair.
Councilman Sanchez.
Yes, so when you say first district, third district, are you talking about the town committee or just the district neighborhood?
District neighborhoods.
Okay, so I'd like to just note that Ricky Martinez is from the 6th district.
Yes, I didn't say it, but he's also, it's written on the resolution that he's the 6th district representation.
Thank you, Madam President.
You're welcome. Any other discussion? There being none, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll on the amendment?
Councilman Clark.
Yes.
Councilman Gale.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hercules.
Yes.
Councilman LeBron.
Yes.
Councilman Mitchell.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti.
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. And now we are going back to the original motion, which is the resolution. If you could please call the roll.
Councilman Clark.
As amended, yes.
Yes. Councilman Gale.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hercules.
Yes.
Councilman LeBron.
Yes.
Councilman Mitchell.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti.
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. And that concludes our agenda for this evening. It has been a very long evening. I want to thank my council colleagues and the members of the public. Have a nice evening. Good night.
Good night.